Alright, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go through chainsaw maintenance. Now, it really does not matter whether it's an Echo, a Steel, a Husqvarna, a Johnson Red, Craftsman, whatever. Generally, I'm going to say generally because there's new technology with all the fuel injected saws and all that stuff coming out, but generally they're all very similar. So let's get right to it. Let's dive right on in. We're going to go through this front to back and show you everything you need to do to maintain a saw to keep it running. So just like anything, just like your car, you do regular oil changes on it, just like any other machine, any other gas equipment, they need maintenance every so often. So let's walk through everything front to back and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is my saw here. This is my Echo CS 490. My wife bought me this saw 3 years ago. I'm going to do a 3-year review on it, but I like it. It's cut all the firewood on the Homestead. I have a little McCulloch here I'm working on too, top handle. I use that for limit and stuff, but this has been my primary saw. It's got a 20-inch bar on it. I haven't modified it at all, any way, shape, or form. Just stock, kind of tweaked the carburetor a little bit, but that's about it. So it's been a good saw, so let's go through some maintenance. So what I like about Echo is, and I'm sure Steel and a bunch of Husqvarna and all the other companies, this isn't sponsored by Echo or anything. This is my own saw. Like I said, my wife bought this from me 3 years ago. But this is the kit, the Echo UCAN maintenance kit. It's got an air filter, spark plug, and a fuel filter. Kit number 90174Y. So as you can see right here, fits CS490, 500P, and 501. We're going to go through all this. And also, we have a new chain as well. This is a Oregon Power Cut 20 LPX 078. This is the chain I used in all my cutting. The factory Echo chain, I'm sorry Echo, but the factory chain is terrible. That whole safety thing, I'm not a fan of. But you want to get some real wood cutting in, upgrade your chainsaw. But so let's go ahead and start with this first, and we'll get to the chain next. Let's go ahead and start with this. Most chainsaws, unlike my McCulloch, the air filter's on the side. Generally, most chainsaws, the air filter's probably on top. So you undo this knob here. I like how it's toolless. I'm a fan of that. I'm sure other saws are like that too, but this is toolless. I like it. Boom. Your cover pops off. Here's your air filter. So as you can see, you know, it gets dirty over time. I just use this I use this saw regularly, so that's still a good filter. We can clean that, and I can show you in another video how to clean those air filters, but for this sake we're gonna change it. So real simple to do. Ready? No magic, it just pops right off. So we have our new filter here. As you can see, what a difference, huh? This one is clean. Oh, not clean, sorry. As you can see here, quite the difference. So one thing you want to do when you're working on your saw is be careful not to get any grime down that throat of that carburetor, because then as soon as you start it, you're going to suck in all that crap. Now, I don't have an air compressor in my basement yet, but what I would do is cover this and blow all this extra stuff off the carburetor, just some extra sawdust. So now, just for now, I'm going to pop this back on just so nothing falls in. We're going to change the spark plug first, and then when we're all said and done under this cover, we're going to put the new air filter on. So basically, you pop this cap off like you just saw. Any saw that you buy should come with a scrunch that has a spark plug wrench right on the end of it. How awesome is that? And then a bar nut on the other side, and then a screwdriver for your adjuster. All in one tool. It's perfect. So basically put that on there, break it loose. Any small engine, any gas small engine is going to be, any gas small engine is going to be the same way. And it's good to know, take your plug out and see what it's doing. See, that looks pretty good. There's the plug. This is a good running saw, so we can just clean that plug up and we can keep it in our chainsaw toolbox for a spare. God forbid we flood the new one or something goes wrong, we drop it in the dirt, or who knows. So if your saw is running, always hang on to this, because if you're out in the field doing work, I'd rather put an older plug in than not be cutting at all. So we're gonna clean this up and we're gonna put it in our chainsaw toolbox. Now, here's our new spark plug. What I recommend doing is putting some anti-seize lubricant on the threads. You don't have to go bananas, just literally enough, because think about it, you have a steel plug and an aluminum cylinder head. So you have two different metals that expand and contract at different temperatures, and if you were to just put this plug in and run it, you might not get it out a couple months from now or whenever you do service again. So you don't have to go all the way around the threads. Just be sure you don't get any like I just did on the tip of it, just on the threads. So we can go ahead and thread that back in, put our new air filter on, and that covers the intake. One thing I like to do is a compression check. I'm gonna, at the end of this, I'm gonna start a maintenance log, which is something I think you should do if you have equipment. See, to write down when you put a plug in, when you put a filter in, how many sharpens you did, and so on. So we're actually going to check compression. This is 3 years of running this almost every day. This thing is cut probably over 30-35 cords of wood. So let's throw the compression gauge on and see how much compression it's reading. Health of your engine. You know, how well your piston rings are wearing in the cylinder. Obviously, your compression tells you everything. So we have our adapter in. We're going to thread this on. Again, I don't want to go too far down because the threads on the spark plug are not that very long. Okay, we're going to try that, okay? Okay, so what you want to do is make sure your kill switch is off. This saw's not going to run anyways because there's no spark plug in it, but for all you safety people, it's kind of tough because you want to hold it wide open too. You want to hold the saw wide open and pull it. Obviously our kill switch is off. There's no spark plug. It's not going to run anyways. Chain brake is on, just for all you safety people. So let's see if we can... it's kind of tough without three hands. Actually, I'm going to do this on the ground. Okay, so we're on the ground. We're at open throttle. Okay, so we got just about 130 psi. So we're gonna do it one more time. All right, so it's all hooked up. Wide open throttle. Yep. About 130 psi. So the reason why I do compression tests on almost all my equipment, my motorcycle, my ATV, my wood splitter, it just gives you a measurement of the internal life of the engine. So this saw it at over 135 psi. That's fair. I know it's a good running saw. I used it yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and put the new spark plug in. We have never seize on the threads. Use our handy dandy scrunch. Now the first time you tighten this down, there's a compression washer on the actual plug, so it's going to feel like you're almost stripping it out, but you're really not. So just be careful of that. See right there, you feel like you're stripping it out, but then it gets pretty tight. You don't want to obviously go bananas with it. And just to make sure, pull your motor over slowly. Now for some reason, if you put a too long of a plug in it, which I've seen happen, your piston's going to come up and boom, it's going to hit that spark plug. So I matched them up. They're apple for apple, but just for cautious sake, turns over fine. Plug's nice and tight. go ahead and put our cap back on. Now, like I said, we're gonna pop our air filter off. Next time I'm outside by my compressor, I'll blow all this crap out, but brand new clean air filter. Nice. So we got new plug, new filter. Clean the bottom of your cover. That's often overlooked. People just pop it off and place it down. This builds up a lot of crap. I cleaned it off camera, so I didn't get to show you, but you just want to make sure this is clean, because you don't want to put a dirty cover over a brand new clean air filter. Okay, now that this is all set and our cover's clean, we can go ahead and pop our cover on, tighten it back down, and we are all set with the spark plug and air filter.